this is Dr. Do. Okay, this video is outside of medicine. Continue the Iliad by Homer. I'm going to continue to read. And many pale white oxen sank on the iron knife, gasping in slaughter. Many sheep and bleating goats and drove of swine, with their long glinting tusks, succulent, rich with fat. They signed the bristles, splaying the pokers out across Hephaestus' fire, that poured the blood in cupful all around the corpse. But now their commander, swift Achilles, was led away by Achaeans' king, barely able to bring him round, still raging for his friend, to feast with Agamemnon. As soon as the party reached the warlord's tents, they ordered the clear-voiced heralds straightway to set a large three-legged cauldron over the fire, still in hopes of including Pallas' royal son, to wash the clotting blood stains from his body. He spurned their offer firmly, even swore an oath, no, by Zeus, by the highest, greatest God. It is sacrilege for a single drop to touch my head, till I place Patroclus on his pyre and heap his mound and cut my hair for him. For a second grave, this harsh will never touch my heart while I am still among the living. But now, let us consent to the feasting that I loathe, and at daybreak marshal Agamemnon, rouse your troops to fell and haul in timber and furnish all that's fitting, all the dead man needs for his journey down the western dark. Then, by heaven, the tireless fire can strike his corpse, the sooner to burn Patroclus from our sight, and the men turn back to battles they must wage. For he insisted. They long on his words, complied, rushed to prepare the meal, and each man feasted well, and no man's hunger lacked a share of a banquet. When they had put aside desire for food and drink, each went his way and slept in his own shelter. But along the shore, as battle lines of breakers crushed and dragged, Achilles lay down now, groaning deep from the heart, near his Myrmidon force, but alone on open ground, where over and over rollers washed along the shore. No sooner had sleep caught him, dissolved all his grief, as mist of refreshing slumber poured around him there. His powerful frame was borne, wearying from charging Hector straight and hard to the walls of windswept Troy. Then the ghost of stricken Patroclus drifted up. He was like the man to the life, every feature the same tall build and fine eyes and voice, and very robes that used to clothe his body. Hovering at his head, the phantom rose and spoke. "Sleeping Achilles? You've forgotten me, my friend. You never neglected me in life, only now in death. Bury me quickly. Let me pass the gates of Hades. They hold me off at a distance, all the souls, and the shades of the burnt out, breathless dead, never to let me cross the river, mingle with them. They leave me to wander up and down, abandoned, lost at the house of death, with the all-embracing gates. Oh, give me your hand, I beg you with my tears. Never, never again shall I return from Hades, once you have given me the soothing rites of fire. Never again will you and I, alive and breathing, huddle side by side, apart from royal comrades, making plans together. Never, grim death, that death assigned from the day that I was born, had spread its hateful jaw to take me down. And you too, your face awaits you too, godlike as you are, Achilles, to die in battle beneath the porch-rich Trojan's walls. But one thing more, a last request granted, please never bury my bone apart from yours, Achilles. Let them lie together, just as we grew up together in your house, after Meniotius brought me there from Alpius, and only a boy, but banished for bloody murder the day I killed Amphidamas' son. I was a fool. I never meant to kill him. Quarreling over dice game, then the famous horseman Peleus took me to his house. He reared me with kindness, appointed me your aide, So now let a single urn, the gold two-handled urn, your noble mother gave you, hold our bones together. And the swift-run Achilles reassured him warmly, why have you returned to me there, dear brother, friend? Who will tell me of all that I must do? I will do it all. I will obey you, your command. Oh, come closer. Throw your arms around each other. Just as a moment, take some joy in the tears that numb the heart. In the same breath, he stretched his loving arms, but could not seize him. No, the ghost slipped on the ground like a wisp of smoke, with a high, thin cry, and Achilles sprang up from the start and, staring wide, drove his fists together and cried in desolation, Ah, God, so even in death's strong house there is something left, a ghost, a phantom, true, but no real breath of life. All night long the ghost of stricken Patroclus hovered over me, grieving, sharing warm tears, telling me point by point what I must do, marvelous like the man to the life. So he cried, and his outcry stirred in them all a deep desire to grieve. And Dawn, with her rose-red fingers thrown upon them weeping, round the wretched corpse, at daybreak King Agamemnon ordered parties of men and mules to haul in timber, pouring from the tents, with a good man in charge. The lordly Idomeneus aid in arms Meriones. The troop moved out with loggers' axes in hand and sturdy cabled rope, as mule trudged on ahead, uphill, downhill, crisscross, zigzag on the trumped. And once they reached the slope of Ida with all her springs, quickly pitching themselves at towering, leaf-crowned oaks, they put their back into strokes of the weighted bronze axes, and the huge trunk came crashing down. They split them apart, lashed the log to the mules, and their hoof tore up the earth, dragging them down to level ground through dense bushes. All the wood cutters hoist the log themselves, by command of Idomeneus, good aid Meriones, and they heaved them down in rows along the beach at the site of Achilles chose to build an immense mound for Patroclus and himself. With boundless timber piled on all sides of the place, down they sat, waiting massed, and at once Achilles called his Myrmidons kin for battle. Belt yourselves in bronze, each drive yoke his team. Chariots harnessed up they rose, and strapped on armor, and swung abroad the war cars, drivers, fighters beside them, and the house move out in front. Behind them, clouds of infinity, men by thousands, and in their midst their comrades bore Patroclus. They covered his whole body deep with the locks of hair they cut, and cast upon him, and just behind them brilliant Achilles held the head in tears. This was his steadfast friend, whom he escorted down to the house of death. I'm going to stop here today and continue next time. Thank you for watching.